Creator is my most anticipated film of the fall, and last night the first batch of critical reactions dropped on social media, and for the most part, they were very positive. So let's talk about it. If you don't know, The Creator is a new sci-fi epic from the director of Rogue One, Gareth Edwards. A friend of mine was able to see it at a test screening back this spring. He said it was fantastic, and no one in his focus group after the test screening said anything but great things about it. So I've been excited for this movie for a while, and most all of the reactions on social media only affirmed my excitement. Let's get started with this. Brandon Davis said, The Creator is astonishingly good. The best film of the year and best sci-fi film in ages, in my opinion. Gareth Edwards flips expectations really impressively for a visceral, touching, and creative story of humanity. Genuinely loved it. You have to see this one. Grace Randolph said, The Creator. I thought it was going to be like District 9 level, which would be still great. Instead, my jaw was on the floor as I witnessed a movie on the level of Aliens, Terminator, and Blade Runner spliced with Akira. That is some glowing praise right there. That is like, whoa, you thought it was going to be great, and you're now talking about it with the best of the genre. Christian Maldonado, friend of the channel, The Creator is an ambitious sci-fi odyssey with a profound take on humanity, acceptance, and freedom at its core. John David Washington gives a career best performance, while Madeline Ewan proves she's a young actor to watch. The third act surprised me. This film went there. Tessa Smith, another friend of the channel and someone I'll be seeing this weekend. Not only is The Creator visually stunning, the story is really emotional too. I was completely captivated by pretty early on. Alfie is adorable. I totally fell in love with her. I love the important underlying theme of accepting those who are different from you. Moving right along, Caitlyn Tyrell, thought-provoking, full of heart, stunning visuals with masterful world building. The Creator is a true sci-fi epic, and Madeline Ewan is an absolute star. Then we have my good friend Griffin Schiller. The Creator is everything we've been craving as film fans. Thought-provoking, original concepts made by a true visionary with a complete mastery over his craft, and the best handling of our current challenges with AI. It's so tastefully woven. I'm completely in love with this film. So this is just the first batch of just glowing reviews that I saw. I saw even more of them, but there were also several people that were pretty mixed, as well as a few that seemed to be just negative on the film. So in the mixed section, Perry Nemiroff, visually, The Creator is phenomenal. If you want a cinematography on the rise to keep on your eye, it's Oren Sofer. This movie is one stunning frame after the next. Story-wise, the first two acts of the film are excellent, lean, riveting, brimming with emotion. I was invested enough that the tail end of the movie did work, but it's noticeably rushed and convoluted in comparison. As for how it tackles AI, the film functions quite well, presenting AI as the other, but given how prevalent concerns about using AR right now, I find myself wishing the movie was a little bit more directly connected with the current conversation. So a lot of positive in there, but also being like, you know, when you get into the third act, it wasn't as strong, and she didn't think the AI conversation was quite as pointed and relevant as maybe it could have been. Michael Lee, Gareth Edwards, The Creator, has plenty of great ideas, but ultimately left me a little conflicted. There's this beautiful lone wolf and cub and Rain Man dynamic, but it's tough to get around the imperialism imagery that comes from the Apocalypse Now influence. So pretty dense statement there, but like you said, conflicted. And then there were a couple that just seemed like more leaning on the bad side. They respected it, but it didn't fully work for them. Matt Neglia, I really admire the scale and behind-the-scenes production of The Creator, but flawed execution renders it a disappointingly typical sci-fi action film. Impressive VFX, a shockingly unmemorable Hans Zimmer score. Madeline Ewan is a wonderful find and the heart of the movie. And finally, Dempsey Pilot. Gareth Edwards' Crater was one of my most anticipated films of 2023, which is why it pains me to say that I only thought it was okay. While it looks and sounds great, thanks to Oren Sofer and Hans Zimmer, so disagreeing about the score, there's no denying this is a carbon copy of films we've seen before. So I look at all of those initial reactions and makes me go, okay, very likely I'm gonna love this film, but there is a chance I'll think it's a little bit too familiar. There's a chance there'll be a little bit of that. But the types of people and the types of praise the movie was getting, it only confirms that I am extremely excited to check out this film. I see it a week from today, next Tuesday. Can't wait to see this film. But there were a few people in there that made some comments that I imagine this movie will kind of be a little bit polarizing. It seems like a movie that if you really buy into it, you'll love this film. But there is a bit of a gap there. Bit of a gap where there's this drop down to I wanted to love it. I loved aspects of it, but with the story, with the execution, there's some familiar stuff in here. So fingers crossed, I absolutely adore this film. Let me know what you're thinking about The Creator, and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.